Kia ora koutou, and welcome to Ōtautahi City Voices, where we listen to Ōtautahi during the COVID-19 pandemic by interviewing city makers and community leaders. We're really interested in hearing from a diversity of voices about what people have discovered when we were under lockdown and how it's influenced or galvanised their vision for Ōtautahi Christchurch. I'm Jessica Halliday. I'm the director of Te Pūtahi Centre for Architecture and City Making, and today I'm talking with Zion Tauamiti, a youth and community worker in Ōtautahi. At least that's how I think of you, Zion. Talofa lava, welcome Zion. Thank you for being
Alpha.
part of Ōtautahi City Voices. Can you please
Yeah,
tell
it's a
us
pleasure.
who you are, what you do, and what your passion is?
So I am Zion. I'm from Christchurch. Both my parents are Samoan and migrated to New Zealand in the 70s and the 60s. And yes, I was born and raised in Christchurch, in Kashmir. This is my little hood. And what my role is in community is, I guess you could call it like I do sort of community development. Um, and that looks like sort of just partnering with communities to, strengthen resilience and just partnering with them to hear their stories and hear their journeys and try and access help for them or the healing that they need. And, we do that journey together. So, yeah, there's a lot of roles in there, but I just don't know if I want to really dive into.
Yeah, cool. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
So, what part of Ōtautahi were you in lockdown in?
I was here in this my nice little house in Kashmir.
Cool. So you haven't moved far from where you grew up?
Yeah, well, yeah, I lived in the east for a little bit, but then it was sort of tricky trying to juggle. Like, I wanted to live a little bit separate from where I did a lot of my work,
Hmm.
just for boundaries.
Yeah. So, what have you discovered or learnt about Ōtautahi or about your community during lockdown?
I feel like um, with the communities that I was involved with during the lockdown, it was interesting, because we already know, I guess, as the community that some of these issues and barriers already exist for our people around poverty and, access barriers that they have, communication barriers, just all the stuff that, goes on in community. And so, yeah, it was interesting for us, the workers, it was interesting because we knew that there would be needs out there, and we knew that there would be people who, within our reach, that would be asking for help. So, yeah, I think actually, sorry, I
Yeah.
think actually, what I found that was really amazing was the process, for accessing funding. Okay, so I guess the government knew that there was needs, specifically in the Māori and the Pasifika lane.
Mhm.
And so, they came up with this money, MSD did, which was a resilience building fund for communities, and some of their criteria was around elderly and, the disadvantaged and the vulnerable. And so, we quickly, as an organization, I was part of two organizations. One was the Pasifika group, community group, and then the other was the Eastern Eagles Rugby League Club. And we knew that that money was available, and so we thought, we quickly got a group, our board together, our response team together, and put out surveys, and people responded, and then we used that as evidence to apply for funding. And then the funding came, and then we delivered we bought these packages and got it out to our families that said they were in need. And this was like a 5-day turnaround. So, from the process of getting the information and the data we needed, and then applying for the money, getting the money, and then giving out what our people needed. It was such an incredible learning process for me, but also people spend years doing this stuff. You spend years trying to evidence that your kaupapa, your thing is needed, and then you've got to research, and then you've got to data, or get all this evidence, collate it all, and then apply, and that takes 50 hours to apply to the government because they just love making us write lots of things, and then you wait months. So it was amazing to see this process like condensed or compressed into like a 2-week period.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. How easy government can make it for communities to access what they need when they really
Exactly.
need to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and why isn't it like that all the time?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So that must have surprised you.
It surprised me. It really did. I think when we got the first load of funding for the rugby league club, I cried, actually. I remember, because we worked really hard on it, and I'm kind of new to this stuff as well. And so I had people from Wellington, a lady named Annalise, and she's an incredible Pacifica advocate as well. And, we were matched up through the site. And, we started making connections. It was amazing. She applied on our behalf. The process was it was an incredible process. And for it to, for us to say, we need help. And for the government to go, sweet as, here you go.
Yeah.
And just in a week, I mean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what are your post-lockdown fears or worries?
That we forget about our vulnerability. You know how we're so quick to do that. Everybody's in need, just the same as all of the other major events for our city. When everybody's in the same boat, we all have the mean love for each other. We all feel like we should be out there holding hands and helping each other. But then once that's gone, that sort of film of apathy comes back over the city, and people go back to their lives and forget about each other. I mean, I just met my neighbor. I've been living here for 2 years almost, and it was week 1 of lockdown was the first time I had a conversation with my neighbor, and I found out, she's widowed, and that's recent. And this was all in the time that I've been here, and she lives 10 meters from me. And I didn't even know that she was going through that. And that made me really sad. But at the same time, I don't want to lose sight of that. I want to, keep those connections.
Yeah. It sounds very similar to the post-earthquake lesson, doesn't it? That community can rise up and connect and meet its own needs with the right kind of resourcing. When needed, but that we struggle sometimes to sustain that when the crisis isn't so acute.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So what does this whole experience lead you to hope or dream for Ōtautahi Christchurch or for the communities you work with?
To be honest, I think, more now than before, I'm just I have this drive, that I've seen it work on a micro scale, in terms of just my reach. And now I'm thinking, man, if it could work that quick with the reach that I've got, let's try and expand it. Let's try and do it to scale. Let's make it macro so that we can reach, we can connect all of the communities to be on the same level. I just feel like I want to quit my job and just focus on this thing of uniting the Pacific communities and the Māori community. Is that what your question was? Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was about your hope or dream for Ōtautahi or for your community, the communities you work with now. And, so your dream is to continue to connect and strengthen those communities.
Yeah, totally. And empower them, empower communities to be able to heal themselves. That's the main goal. I'd love it if we, if we were like this, if we could sustain this type of compassion and care for each other forever. that it would never stop? Do we have to always have these series of events that force us to look at each other, you know, that force us to care for each other on levels that we, you know, when usually we just walk right past them and not even give a shit, but like, hey, there you are you okay? You know, what do you need? I can share with you.
So, given that that's your dream or hope, what are your plans in the weeks and months ahead to continue to contribute to that dream and hope?
It's a great question. I feel like like personally, I learned a lot about myself in lockdown, that, you know, I can be independent. You know, a lot of the networking and community work relies on you out there, you know, getting advice from the ministry and council and communities that you're in. And so, you know, the process is longer, I think, because we're locked down and you were forced to, you know, make decisions, rash decisions, quick ones, like that affected you. You know what I mean? I learned to just go with my gut and just, like, you know, believe in yourself. I'm more independent in the choices and decisions I have to make. I figured that I could juggle the work and my family, which was one of my life's, you know, that was one of my life's, you know, how am I going to do community and have a family, you know? And so, yeah, I got snippets of that. I got to see, and those are the things I want to continue. And that's why I'm at home, and it's, you know, I should be out there. You know, it's because I like this space. I like being close to my family. And also, you know, it was good for me, and this is something I want to continue as well, is like, you know, being reflective, being in my spiritual space, being able to just stay centered in who I am and who I'm called to be, you know.
Awesome. Thank you, Zion. This has been really, really wonderful to talk with you. So, if people are interested in connecting with you and the work that you do or the organizations you work with, how do they reach you?
Mainly Facebook. So I've got my Facebook page, which is just Zion Tauamiti. Then I've got the Pacifica community that I work with, Pūtahi 20, FAATASI 20. That's on Facebook as well. And then the Eastern Eagles Rugby League Club is also on Facebook. So if you want to keep track and follow, you know, our journey and community and where we're taking our communities, then yeah, just follow us on Facebook.
Fantastic. We'll put the links out when we release this recording, so they should be in the notes.
Awesome.
Thank you again. It's been such a pleasure. And thanks to those of you who are listening or watching. Please send us in your feedback, share your views and your vision for Ōtautahi now. We'd love to hear from you. So,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
So
everyone.
it's goodbye from Zion.
Goodbye.
Bye, and it's goodbye from me. Ka kite anō.
Ka kite, everyone.